Here's a guy that had been around enough to kind of know when you were going down a blind alley, you were wasting your time. He's not a person of many words. He doesn't demand the spotlight, but he's always there.
He's very smart, whip smart, can pick up on things really easily.
And I think he found the right purpose in using that integrity and intelligence to guide healthcare.
Without John's involvement at both the state, but particularly at the federal level, rural and frontier communities would not have the access that they have today.
I grew up in a town called Lakeview, Iowa. It's a town of 1,000 people out in very rural western Iowa. I went to Presbyterian Seminary in San Francisco, got a Master of Divinity there, and that's really where I got introduced into politics. The day I graduated from seminary, I took a job in a political campaign, and the rest is history.
I think John understood a physician can take care of a patient. The public health agency in that community can take care of that community. But at the end of the day, the tone of the policies are set in Helena.
If I'm going to lobby, I want to lobby for something I can believe in. And lobbying for nonprofit hospitals in community hospitals in small towns around Montana was something I can really believe in. I do believe in.
Rural hospitals face very special challenges, and nobody knows that like somebody who's on the front lines in a state like Montana, and somebody like John who traveled extensively among his own membership and could speak for them so effectively, both in the state capitol and in Washington.
Around the time Obamacare was in play, and obviously Senator Baucus and his staff were playing a key role in that.
And so that involved Montana in a large way because, of course, Senator Baucus relied a lot on John Flink and the other folks at MHA for input on how those provisions in the Affordable Care Act would affect rural communities.
So I think in a very quiet way, John's handprints are all over what we now would call the Affordable Care Act.
John was a D.C. rat. He knew the place very, very well from years of being there.
He was a superb guide. I mean, he knew and told them where to meet, when, how they were going to approach a visit to a congressional office.
He made sure that you were taken care of, that you were comfortable, had a little fun, and also focused on getting the job done.
So that they weren't just wandering around aimlessly looking for somebody's office. It was well orchestrated. And then, of course, he'd always find a great restaurant to take them to dinner.
That's true.
Any memorable meals?
Lots.
He just brought an ease of traveling in the cities. At times when, you might be from a small town like Helena, you might get into the city and be a little intimidated about getting around. And here's John, not to worry. Got it. Know how to do it. I think John's legacy is in the work he did to bring the issues of rural hospitals to the forefront.
Whether you're talking, Sydney, Red Lodge, Libby, Lewiston, Wolf Point, Glasgow, those hospitals may not be around if we hadn't have been effective together. And John was the architect of a lot of that.
Nationwide, I think there's just over 1,300 critical access hospitals now. So that's an amazing, amazing legacy.
I remember back in the 90s or early 2000s when this award was created, and I was charged with writing the description of the award and who it should be given to. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that I would one day be receiving this award. In fact, I'm still very surprised and humbled that MHA would give me this award.